All right, we'll call our February 1st regular meeting to order. Good evening, everyone. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Publics Meeting Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given in the new schedule of meetings of the Spotswood Borough Council on December 28, 2015. The new schedule was transmitted to the Home News Tribune and Sentinel, filed with the Clerk of the Borough of Spotswood, and posted in the municipal building located at 77 Summerhill Road, Spotswood, New Jersey. During our moment of silence, we had 3 sad events since we've met. Our administrative assistant, Myrta Maldonado, she lost her grandmother. She passed away in Puerto Rico. Shari Phillips, our tax collector, her sister passed away in California. And Charlie Geller of our road department, his father passed away. If you could remember those people and their families in your thoughts and prayers during our moment of silence. We'll rise for a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Councilman Seeley?
Here.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Here.
Councilman Ritchie?
Here.
Councilman Service?
Here.
Council President Stolen?
Here.
Mayor Policino.
Present.
We have a set of minutes from January 6, 2016, our reorganization meeting.
Need a motion to accept the minutes?
Motion to accept the minutes,
Second.
our reorg meeting,
Councilman Seeley?
yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
We have another set of minutes from January 6, 2016, regular meeting.
Motion to pass?
Second?
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
We have an ordinance on second reading. This is a public hearing for ordinance 2016-3. The ordinance 2016-3 was posted in the Spotswood Municipal Building on January 21st, 2016, and advertised in full in the Home News Tribune on January 23rd, 2016. A public hearing was set for February 1st, 2016. Calendar year 2016 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank according to NJSA 40A:4-45.14.
I need a motion to open this for a public hearing?
Motion that we open it public?
Second.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes. This ordinance allows us to establish a cap bank. It doesn't mean that we're going to use it, but allows us to bank the amount that we are below the cap and store it should we have some emergent situation in the future that we need to use it. Does anyone have any questions on this ordinance? You just need to step up to the podium. You know the routine, Cheryl.
Cheryl Bass, 289 Main Street. I picked up the paper about this ordinance, and it says that the amount would be $269,000, a little bit more than $269,000. Why I target the amount of money is because the other week I went to the school board meeting, and the supervisor, the superintendent, Mr. Rocco, he had said that the transportation costs for the school buses to bring the children to school, take the children home, that the increase in the cost of transportation comes up to $250,000, so that the school had to do a reorganization, a reevaluation, so that they do not spend that $250,000.
They have a cap as well, they have to stay on there.
Exactly. So my question is, with such exorbitant amounts of money being thrown around on one item, transportation for the school, will this $269,000 be enough?
We don't even, we have not used this on any basis yet. We do it every year. The CFO advises us to do that so that we have a buffer for emergencies, but we have not used it. We don't intend to use it. Well, we'll have to see what comes up in our budget.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Cheryl. No other questions?
Motion to close public?
Second.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes, I make a motion we pass this ordinance on second reading and publish it according to law.
Second?
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
We have resolutions on the consent agenda. They're laid out on the table if anyone wants to peruse them. Council President and council members, I'll take a vote for the approval of resolutions 2016-29 through 2016-30.
Make a motion we pass 2016, 29, and 30.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Comments? Ted, anything?
Yeah, a couple things. Number one, I know we brought it up already. I wanted to praise DPW and the outside contractor for the effectiveness they had in getting our roads opened up again. They had a lot of snow and it was nasty. I know I pushed some of my own, and made my truck bog down, so they had a lot of work ahead of them. They did a good job. The other thing I wanted to do, Dawn, do we have anything in our town's rules and regulations about conduct of order at council meetings?
Not currently, to my knowledge, no.
Okay. Do you know of any towns that do have rules of conduct for these meetings?
Yes.
Okay. Because I wanted to discuss the email that came out today about the rules of conduct. I think it's a good idea that we establish something in writing, post them right on the council chambers. This way when people come in, they're aware of it. And I know Mr. Mayor had an issue. He didn't want to violate anybody's rights as far as if they're able to record at meetings. Was that your concern?
Yes.
Okay. Generally, what we saw in the email today I thought was a good idea. And the only thing I added to it was if you want to videotape it, I think that's fine. But, whatever video equipment comes in should really be in the back of the room and not anywhere where it can impede access of people or create any kind of a blockage. So if 10 people want to come in with their video cameras, there's an entire back wall there. And, as far as people coming in and talking, establishing a written time period so there is no argument. And if we know that there's going to be a lengthy meeting, cutting that period back in writing, I think establishing a rule and posting it would probably go a long way. It doesn't stifle anybody's position when they want to speak. Everyone knows what the ground rules are right from the start. I think it's something worth exploring.
And I agree with him. I think it was very good. I think that last meeting, certainly, everybody had their time to share, and they did. And so I think that if everybody knows, so they should know what the rules are, and we're not winging them as we go along. I think to have something standard set
Standard
is
set
a
of
good
rules that
thing.
everyone flies by, this council, the next council, and the council after that.
There are a lot there. I mean, I reviewed them beforehand, and there are rules already about time and how the questions are asked. A lot of that was there. Maybe it needs to be codified
Yeah,
in a
I'm
list.
thinking we codify the whole thing, put it under one single resolution and then post it. This way, there's never a question down the road. They can't accuse anybody of being arbitrary. Set a time limit. It doesn't have to be 5, it could be 10 minutes. I mean, whatever we decide upon. But we
And
set it.
maybe instead
and-
of you, Kurt, running the meeting and doing the timing and all that, maybe we can have someone else be doing the timing so that there's no dispute whether it was, I think the one gentleman was saying 3 minutes and 40 seconds versus the 5 minutes that you had. I mean, take that right out of our hands and have somebody independent just do that.
Well, it is distracting for me to have to watch both. I have to say that, but
I think putting something like that together and posting it up would probably go a long way towards keeping things on track later on.
I said, I don't need to make any drastic changes from one contentious meeting. I think what was done was, we handled it with the rules that we had, but I think maybe codifying them so that there's a list and people know.
Everything in one spot, put it up on the door.
So we don't need any more restrictions than what we had.
No, we're
I
not
think that
restricting. What
yeah,
we're saying is, look, here's the rules.
Right.
These are the rules of conduct.
Right. Yep. So we'll have to look at that. But there are some there already, so we'll have to review what's in our book already and see what we do.
And they're only allowed to video me from the good side. I'm only teasing.
Okay. Ed?
Okay. Yeah, I do have something. On Saturday night, I attended the Firemen's Installation Dinner. It was a good event. I had a very good time there. I want to extend congratulations publicly to Chief Genty and his 2016 officers, also Ms. Draco and the auxiliary. Also, congratulations to William Andren for past 3 years as chief. He got an award for that. And Zachary Andren is Firefighter of the Year.
Wow.
Also, we had a newly sworn-in firefighter, James Cafferty. We had a newly sworn auxiliary member, Jessica Landstrom, and a junior auxiliary member, Catherine Katie Rivera. And also, the mayor delivered a very nice speech about our attendance down in Emmitsburg to honor the fallen firefighter Joseph Borough. And it was a very good time. Had a very good time.
Okay, thank you, Ed.
That's it for me.
That's it. Marge?
Thank God for our firefighters. And the only thing, we're getting ready for the CDBG public meeting. That's on Wednesday morning at 9:30 here at the Borough Hall. We get $37,940 from the federal government for different projects around town. And in 2015, Bruce and I both sit on the committee. We had paid some money towards the Senior Citizens Coordinator. We did curb cuts, the handicapped access curb cut project, and safe housing. Safe housing program really provides those seniors who have income constraints, some funding to take care of housing that impacts on their safety and quality of their life in their homes. So anything from heat repairs to plumbing repairs, those kinds of projects it funds. And it's a great resource for our citizens. So over the years, this has existed since the 60s. It's been a $1.5 million bonus to Spotswood and Spotswood residents, and it's funded by everybody's taxes at the federal level. So on behalf of the residents, thank you for your tax dollars to make this program work. And we're having our annual public meeting Monday at 9:30. And that's it. Thank you.
Marge. Leo?
I have nothing to report.
Nothing? Dawn or Mr. Mayor? Or Julie?
Sure, I have a couple things. I'd like to, as everyone said, give a huge thank you to Public Works, who worked tirelessly during this storm. Even bigger thank you to our police, fire, and EMS, who dedicated 36-plus hours away from their families to answer calls for people in need. A lot of people that didn't listen and stay off the roads and ended up into banks of snow that had to be pushed out, pulled out, towed out. Emergency services went above and beyond. Spotswood Police several times took a nurse to one of our residents who the nurse basically what do you call it, is a caregiver for.
She's a retired registered nurse.
Retired?
She's a retired registered nurse from Robert Wood.
That's it.
And it was to a resident over on Adirondack and Hudson.
Yeah, so our
Adirondack
police
and
department
Hudson.
drove her there on numerous occasions. So that was very good to see in this nice small town of Spotswood.
Nick, I just want to piggyback on that. It was discussed on 101.5. The nurse's husband actually went on 101.5 to applaud the police in Spotswood for helping
Wasn't her.
his wife.
Wasn't her husband,
Well,
because he passed away.
okay,
But
so
anyway.
maybe a son.
Yeah.
But I actually called Chief and congratulated him. I left a message on his voicemail because it was very nice to
Yeah,
hear.
it was arranged Friday.
He actually did a couple of the trips himself.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, the first time he had to carry her in because the snow's too deep.
Wow.
Captain Zero. Piggybacked her into the house.
Thank God we
first
have a
trip.
big, strong policeman.
You're not kidding.
So, sorry, Nick, I just wanted to say
Trust me, I
that
don't
was
mind,
terrific.
please. It was a great, thing for the town, it's nice to see everybody working together. EMS and fire department work great together. During EMS calls, the fire department would go out and give them a hand shoveling so they can get the walkway shoveled to the door to be able for them to get the patient out safely. Big thank you to Mr. Jose Rivera, my OEM coordinator. He never left, never slept. He did eat though a lot, but he did a phenomenal job
He did.
with the storm. So thank you so much,
Yeah,
Jose.
Jose.
And last thing is the fire department is having their annual comedy night fundraiser on February 20th. If anyone is interested, you'll see any member of the fire company or Jose for tickets. And I think that's it. Did I miss something? No, I think that's it. Thank you, sir.
All right. Dawn, did you have anything?
I just want to welcome Kate Leedy. She's going to be the new administrative assistant in the mayor's office starting February 8th. And also Joanna Carlson was just hired for the finance office to help out while one of our employees is out for an extended period of time. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, entertain a motion to open to the public.
Motion open to the public.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any comments or questions? We just ask that you come up to the podium, identify yourself for the record.
Good evening, Frank Hadation, 41 Kane Avenue. I live on Kane Avenue, off of Meady. I noticed the last couple of weeks, there's a lot of work being done on the highway on Meady Ave. What's being done there? Because the police were there for a couple of
Blocked
weeks.
off the
I'm
other
sorry?
morning. It was blocked off.
I know, it's been blocked off, on and off for a couple of weeks. What's going on there?
Gas line.
Uh,
They're putting in a gas line, a new gas line.
A new gas line? Okay,
Thank you, Jose.
okay, that's it. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Jose. Thank you, Frank.
Thanks, Jose.
Gas companies being proactive before we pave Meady Avenue, unlike with what happened with Richmond.
Right,
So,
very good.
good thing.
Good evening, Cheryl.
Good evening. Cheryl Bass, 289 Main Street. In the latest edition of the Sentinel, it's dated January 28th, the latest edition. On page 29, former operator of water systems admits falsifying test data on purity. And this is Milltown and New Brunswick, the former licensed operator of the New Brunswick and Milltown public drinking water system pleaded guilty to submitting false water purity testing data to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. Why this is so dismaying, first of all, Milltown is right nearby, and so is New Brunswick. And this comes out at the same point of time that we hear about Flint, Michigan, and their water. And how do we let the people who are doing the testing know that the citizens are concerned? If it's done one place, their friends nearby say, oh, he did it, I'll do it too. This is a dismaying type of thing. It's in our own backyard. And as one who just, picked up the paper, it's alarming. It's alarming.
Cheryl, in that article, though, it detailed he owned the lab where the water samples were sent to for testing, and he was in charge of the testing for the two. Talk about a conflict of interest, right? So he wound up not doing the testing and pocketing the money, according to the article
Right,
that was in the
right,
Sentinel. And
right.
it was also in the Home News, too.
Right, so, this is just the concerns of the average taxpayer. I am wondering, the email that Councilman Ritchie was talking about, is that email visible for the citizens to see on the Spotswood Borough website, or no?
No, that was,
No.
that was an email from the business administrator
Oh, okay, so,
answering a question on rules for our meeting, just giving out some general information.
oh, okay. So there'll be further comments from the council on that as you proceed with that?
And if you look at
email?
our website, our entire borough code is on there, and
Oh,
you
okay.
can look on there, and there are currently paragraphs that deal with the meeting and how many minutes people have, and that's there should we have a meeting that's so packed. In order to give everybody a fair chance to talk, it gives us a chance to limit it.
Yeah, well, the last meeting, that was the longest meeting I have ever been to.
For all of us.
Yeah, for a town council. I have never been to a meeting that went on and on for that
But we
length of
felt it was
time.
important for everybody to
Yes.
have their say,
Yes.
and we tried to be fair to have everyone have their say,
Yes.
and give them the time to do that.
Yes, and in conclusion, I was privileged the week before, January 21, to have my letter to the editor also in the Sentinel, and you cannot get another letter into the Sentinel until about 6 or 8 weeks have passed, so I have a little follow-up to it. And my letter to the editor was in praising our police. Police officers deserve support and appreciation. On today's internet, these statistics came out about the Chicago police. Chicago, I realize, is a city. We are a borough. They have many, many more people. Their mayor, who was reelected, had served as the chief of staff to the White House. And so he should be more acquainted.
Cheryl, this is, we don't want to just talk about politics. If you have anything to do with Spotswood.
Well, this is just to let you know that we appreciate our police and support them and want them to continue on. The police in Chicago have been, so to say, politically attacked, and they had the bloodiest January in 16 years, which brings us back to the last century, the last millennium. 51 homicides versus 29 in January.
Cheryl, your time's up.
Very good. I got it.
Only
in.
kidding, but really,
Got
we
it
just
in.
want to keep it to our business, really.
We appreciate our police and we support them.
Thank you, Cheryl.
I think we all read the article.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone else tonight? Hello, Jose.
Hello. Jose Rivera, Emergency Management Coordinator. Well, I got to thank, from me, I'd like to thank the police department, EMS, fire, okay? They did a great job and everything like that. Again, you guys have my phone number. Give me a call if you got questions, okay? I only had one person who checked up on somebody, at least in the BA. Okay, you guys could call me, all right? You gotta know what's going on in your town, all right? You jinxed me, Marge,
Aha, he called me.
okay? Turned around, she was checking on seniors. I told her everything was fine. Sure enough, we have one 79-year-old who had no heat. Again, 2 of our officers went over there. They figured out what was going on and got her heat back up.
Terrific.
Okay, again, everybody worked together, you know, and I can't say much, you know, but thank you to all of them. You know, EMS, fire, they did a great job to, like I said, they were out there. Our guys were out there.
And you were here, Jose,
Well,
keeping an
you
eye
know
on
what?
everything.
They're the ones
That's
who did
much
the job out
appreciated.
there. Okay, I had to stay in, but they're the ones who did the job. They get the credit.
But Jose, if we don't call you, don't think that we're not concerned, but
Well, you know,
you probably have enough to do without us saying, Jose, what's happening? You know, if there's something that we need to know about.
Well, you know what? It's sometimes, Kurt, you should call in to find out. Okay, I have nothing against it. You guys can call in, I'll tell you exactly what's going on.
As you did.
I mean,
Okay,
I felt
and
that,
that's-
me knowing
And
the
when I seen
incidentals-
you, when I was driving around to, checking around the area, I explained to you everything that went down,
Yep, you did.
okay? And that's how I like it. It's when you guys come and ask questions, I have no problem answering your questions. Okay?
Okay.
Not like, later on finding out, oh, what happened here? No, hear it from me. Okay? The BA calls me, Dawn calls me all the time. I explain to her what's going on, and we keep communications.
Communication, you can never over-communicate as far as I'm concerned.
So,
It's a good thing.
again, thank you. Dawn, thank you. Guys, thanks, like I said, thank you for all the guys that, did their jobs.
Thank you, Jose.
No problem.
Anyone else? Not?
Motion?
Hello, Ed.
Good evening. Eddie Schmidt, 395 Old Stage Road. One is a comment goes out to the police department. Nick, I know you said that we were supposed to stay off the road, but I happen to have to be out of the house all night long. Come home about 7:30 and got stuck in my trying to get in my driveway. Spotswood police were there. They stayed with me until the car got dug out and I got it into the driveway. One of them told me, they said, we don't care where you put it in the driveway, just get it into the driveway. But I want to thank them for that, okay?
You're on Old Stage, right?
Yes,
Ed? Yeah.
yes.
So
Well, that's the other thing they said, we got to get this car off Old Stage,
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
no shoulder there
The other
either.
thing is, and I'm not sure if there's anything available yet, but is there any, do we have any idea what the financial impact of the storm was? Or is it too early to determine that?
Too early, but
Okay.
Jose is developing all that information and gathering it right now for a PDA for FEMA.
Okay.
And Jose declared a state of emergency in the town, and that helps track that money and makes it easier to apply for FEMA for aid.
Okay, and my other comment deals with the EMS, okay? I happened to, while I was outside shoveling, okay, EMS came by. I don't know where they were heading. About 5 minutes later, they came back with the sirens on. So obviously they were going to some sort of emergency or had an emergency and was going off to the hospital or whatever. But my comment was, while I'm standing in my driveway shoveling, was, I wonder where Robert Wood Johnson would be if they were here. Thank you.
Anyone else? If not,
Motion to close the public?
Second?
All in favor?
aye. We do have a closed session. It's not on our agenda. The borough clerk wasn't aware of it.
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be it resolved by the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey as follows. 1, the public shall be excluded from discussion of any action upon the hereinafter specified subject matters. 2, the general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows. Contract negotiations. 3, it is anticipated at this time that the above stated subject matter shall be made public when confidentiality is no longer required. This resolution shall take effect immediately.
Make the motion, we pass the resolution?
Second?
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Service?
Yes.
Council President Stoll?
Yes. Thank you for all coming out tonight.
Only over there.
There'll be no official action after this.
Pictures.